you?
It's the biggie.
Are you selling something?
This is my house.
Why can't you knock like a decent person?
This is my house.
Baby.
Did he destroy her house?
Yes.
Yes.
Still there, are you?
This is my
Gothos. So,
Yes.
does this Gothos have a squire?
Well,
Oh, you nerd! Grandma likes it.
Gothos is
I know
the,
you
the
do,
town.
Grandma.
Now this is the interesting thing. Now we can actually choose who waiting for us. But first, another hidden object. Oh my god! Oh god!
That is fucking horrifying.
Oh!
What the hell?
I mean, it's a hidden object
can-
part. Let's get rid of that because that was terrifying. Oh, good lord!
Not enough time. Well, it's because I landed in it. Oh, Rosalina's gone a bit. Certain color she went. Must have been inked. She was a very mucky pup.
Fine. I bought the lifetime subscription.
Ah, see, I only bought a year.
Oh no, I bought the lifetime one. Now I have them all. Oh, you can assign favorites. Oh well, I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta assign Santa as a favorite.
Yeah, Santa's a favorite on mine as well.
Oh man, look at how many. Ooh. I didn't really.
I've got rhythm. Modern adventure, classic adventure. Oops. Bad aim, apparently. Not really paying attention this morning. But, you know, classic adventure, you name.
Oh, for fuck's sake, stop saying narrative. Makes me sick.
Oh,
You keep using that word. I do not think
I do
it
not
means
think
what you
means
think it
what
means.
You think it means.
so apparently if you try and grab these,
You can give it a hand job, yes.
yeah,
so.
well, it does actually, like, what's it called? My hand is actually, yeah, look. It will actually, yeah, makes you think, doesn't it?
It's Uncle Bill. Lovely.
Oh, you know what? I'll bet you the wayward crocodile's in the toilet. Yeah!
Called it, dude.
I
Called it.
hate how I know this.
That needs to become a GIF. I'm gonna make that a GIF for
Yeah.
you, Grundy.
Please do. Please do.
Put the crocodile coming out of the.
Okay. Please don't come lightning, please don't come lightning, please don't come lightning. Woo! In place. Which hat was it? Oh god, which hat was it?
Yeah, look at that. Down.
I just remember seeing the earrings really misplaced, and I don't even remember which earrings they were now.
I think they're the ones you just been past. Let's see. I need to cheat.
Nice job. I kind of take care of the students here as well. I'm like a father to some of them.
Oh, hi,
Father
Biggie.
Christmas.
I'm Father Biggie.
Not much, really.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
It used
Yeah.
to be called
What's
the
that?
Institute
My
of
puppy just
Racial
growled at
Psychology
Biggie.
or something.
Oh.
Oh.
It's been a school since
I like
sometime
something
before
else.
World
You
War
don't
One.
like puppy? I mean, you don't like Biggie?
There's not much to do.
I
in
don't
the
blame.
Good God, women do not know things. No, I don't. Laura rings a bell. It's like, okay, bell's coming.
Not again.
Seriously, Carol? Night, Carol. Night, Carol. You're all Carol during this
Good night,
stream.
Lucy Phonic.
Good night, Lucy.
Good night, Lucy. I'm sure you're not Carol Reed. I mean, like, I'm 95%.
We don't know what Carol Reed looks like, so.
No,
could be.
although I have had a strange glimpse, but I don't know if that's supposed to be Carol Reed.
What? What was that? What just happened?
What did just happen?
God.
Excuse me, I need to wipe my chin.
Smash! Oh shit!
Bazooka smash!
Why did she
What?
make she made the
How
sound of
long
a
was
door?
she in there?
She made the sound of a door when I killed her.
Long enough to get very.
Do a hidden object thing.
Oh my god, that thing just moved.
What thing?
This
Enjoy these rocks.
Dave, you gonna gong me?
It's not working.
Oh,
Oh god.
oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Wow.
I can't reach it from this side of the fence.
Well, climb the fence.
Don't come over the fence, Carol.
What did you do with your ladder?
I can't climb. She's got a trampoline!
Oh, we do.
Yes!
We need it.
I just trampoline over a fence! Oh, too bad there
And
was
this
no
apparently lets us get
point.
back as well.
I really wish there had been a boing noise.
It should have been a boing, definitely.
There really should have been a boing.
Yeah. In any case, I think a push of the what the fuck button was due.
Yeah. Something lying close to the statue on the same side of the street.
Extra as a history teacher at the prison.
You want the hit from my bong? Oh, what? Thanks for your help.
empty.
Nice vase. What? I
Yeah,
like how
oh,
she just
now we have
casually
the prison.
compliments the new vase.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh no, it's big.
Oh yeah, Vinny has still
Vinny.
shucked us.
I wasn't breastfed as a child.
Thanks. So?
Yeah.
Far out, indeed. Hang on, we're on the wrong thing. There we go. And I need the other game capture window. Ta-da! And then click on here. Alright, hooray! That was probably one of the weirdest audio issues I've dealt with in a while.
Yeah, we fixed it by going to Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, like, Brazil used to fix this in a lot of ways before. But the weird thing was that I could see Dave was talking, like it was lighting up green around him, but no sound was coming out on my side.
So strange.
Yeah, and so I was like changing all my audio sources, trying to work out if it was a problem with Wavelink or it's Randy time, Randy Stanton. Oh, I was taking my medication as well when that happened.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
Meds check, everybody. Oh, I think there's an anti-inflammatory.
Baked potato.
Baked potato.
Oh, I also need to get cream. Hang on.
Cream.
Yes, I've got the Panthen for my new tattoo.
Oh. You got your tattoo. It says, fuck my last workplace.
That'd be so great to walk into my first day of the new job with. That would be so good. But no, it's not that.
Onion
It's. Oh, hello, Rumi. It's a prawn cooking a fish.
Oh.
There's meaning to it.
Yeah. There's always meaning to it.
I'll put a picture of it on Discord.
Oh, Dee Dee's proud of you, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Dee Dee.
I don't want to get caught snooping through her clothes. Yes, so I did go back to the video and I found the voice I was using for this man.
Ah, yes. Oh, could you share to me, please?
Oh, yes, because it
Not
dropped
behind.
out when it...
The voice hours.
And the voice hours. So, as a recap of where we're up to, we're still trying to find our friend who took all the money for our job, and they want to close our department, and we're like, no, hauntings are a real thing. Ghosts are real. We've gotten to the point where we've proved to one man that it's possible, but we need to convince the rest of the board. And so we're now seeing the most famous medium in all of London, and like, it wasn't our guy. It was like, what's that called? Like just a random guy getting up on stage being like, nah, everything she's saying is all public knowledge about you.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that Houdini?
Yeah, it was like Houdini, yeah. I was thinking it's kind of like, what's that, Arthur Conan Doyle. He was a big, anti-seancer. Although, I think he got into it in the end, but...
he was big into that.
Yeah, but I think he was also into, like, being like, this one's a fraud. You know? He's like, I've done some seances and this was not a fucking seance.
Let me tell you, I've seanced.
There is a note from Richard Westmore. It says, we're making a fortune, Beatrice. For God's sakes, Oliver. Didn't you know Houdini was in town? Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
But I did not expect him to.
I didn't expect... Oh.
Sorry, that is you. Go with that one. That scoundrel is determined to disrupt the work of mediums. He's obsessed.
It won't happen again, Beatrice. It won't happen again, I promise.
Don't worry, luckily I know how to deal with these kind of people. Patrick Moore! It's about time I finally met you. Do you know who I am, Miss Shaw? Oh, of course. And let's dispense with the formalities. Call me Beatrice. Nelson told me a lot about you. In fact, he never stops talking about you. Oh, are you trying to say he's dead? Let's cut to the chase, Beatrice. Do you know where Professor Ward is? At this hour? At the university, I suppose. Oh, you should know better. No, he is not there. Well, where is he then?
Just asked you.
I was hoping you could tell me. One moment. Have I missed something? Professor Ward has absconded with a significant sum of money from a donation to the university. Nobody knows where he is. Nelson, a thief? Impossible. He doesn't care about money. She's getting his voice, but in a higher voice. Why would he do such a thing? I wonder the same. Hello, Fu. Ang to you too.
Fu!
I'll ask again. Do you know where I can find him? Here's your tone with me, young man. I don't know what you're insinuating, but I'm confused by the news as you are. I'm sorry. It has been a tough day. First I found out my colleague is a thief. Then the board expresses its desire to shut down the Department of Metaphysical Research if I don't prove the existence of the afterlife in 72 hours. To top it off, my fiancé has broken ties with me. I've been kicked out of my own house. No, she owned it. And all my money has been frozen in the bank. That part's unfair. I am a nervous wreck, so permit me some vehemence. Vehemence? Oh, I'm sorry. But believe me when I say I have no idea where Nelson is. You were seen with him at the Red Lion. And I thought you were... And you thought I was his accomplice, did you? Your informant never considered that we are just two friends having a pint at our usual haunt. I wasn't banging him. The Red Lion is the perfect place for me to go unnoticed. They are too drunk to recognize me. What is your relationship with the professor? Are you lovers? No, no. Nelson's never shown any interest in romantic relationships. Doesn't mean I haven't tried. I have no interest in men either. Oh, well, there you go. We've been lifelong friends. We grew up together in Whitby. We've hardly been apart ever since. With all due respect, I do not believe you... Oh, sorry, I thought I was asking the other thing, but you do not have psychic powers? You are right to think, because I do not have such powers.
She admitted it.
It has all been a charade, with that buffoon Houdini pointed out. My calling is scientific, Patrick. My dream has always been to pursue science, but they wouldn't let me into the university. A place exclusive to men. Everything is exclusive to men in this rotten society. I had to be self-taught and I've become a good scientist. But damn it, I can't prove it. I find it curious that as a scientist you have no qualms about what you do. I take money from those who've hindered my professional career. I've amassed a fortune at their expense. As far as I'm concerned, I have a clear conscience. The professor never spoke of you. We're talking about Nelson, so does that really surprise you? I admit we only talk about we basically only talk about professional matters. I gave up on him talking about his personal life. Don't blame yourself. Good, I don't. I have been very persuasive to get him to talk about anything about metaphysics. Nelson lives in his own world. He only wanted to be diagnosed, but he never wanted to be diagnosed, but I think he has early onset herpetophenia. I suppose that's why he's seen as such as an eccentric person. Herpetophenia?
I've never heard of that.
That would explain a lot. What is herpetophenia? But he's the most upright and honest person I know.
Also known as disorganized schizophrenia.
Oh, so all this talk of theft and flight has had me baffled. Well, if he's schizophrenic, then he could do anything. Something smells fishy about this. I'm worried about Melson. He must have been coerced into doing what he did. Maybe by a ghostie. It's not like him. I refuse to believe it. Do you have any clues as to where we can find him? No, all my clues led here, my lady. No, every lead I have followed regarding his whereabouts has led me to you. Oh. Have you checked if he's in his workshop? What? He has a workshop?
Ding dong.
What workshop? He never told you about it, I see. Does he have a secret workshop? Secret wouldn't be the word. He would simply forget to mention it. You know how he is. Apparently not. Like a box of surprises, indeed. Nelson wanted me to have a spare key to the place. I have it stored in that drawer. In that drawer, not the other drawer. Will you come with me? Ooh. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? C'est quoi? Don't you have a function next? My best friend has gone missing. The last thing I care about is entertaining a bunch of rich folks. Let's go. Let's not waste any time. You look tired. Why don't you take a nap? And I will leave you for your belongings.
Yeah, I don't trust that.
I'll let you know when we're about to arrive. I'm alright, not to worry. I won't insist. Let's ravish her. What's your story, Patrick? Excuse me? Both you and the professor are obsessed with finding out what lies beyond death. An admirable passion. Both of you would give anything to know the truth. So tell me, where does this interest come from? I saw a ghost when I was a child. Interesting. It was my little brother. He died of polio when I was 9 years old. Oh, I'm so sorry, Patrick. I can't imagine how hard it must have been for you. It was, Beatrice, it was. It happened on the night of his funeral. I heard footsteps in the hallway, which startled me. They were heading towards the room Cedric and I shared. At first, I thought those steps belonged to one of my parents, but it didn't sound like their walk. It sounded like Cedric's walk. Polio had deformed his right leg. His gait was distinctive. I jumped out of bed, opened the door to the hallway, and it was him. His face was contorted into a perpetual grimace of agony and pain. He was bumping into walls with violence. He was banging his head against the door frames as if something was eating him up inside and he was trying to get rid of the pain. It must have been terrible. So horrible that I couldn't bear it and I fainted. I never told my parents. Would they have believed me? I doubt it. Neither did I want to cause them any more pain than they were already enduring. But what I saw was real. It was not a hallucination or a dream. There's no one in the world who can convince me otherwise. For years I have been obsessed not only with the fact that we can see the immaterial world, but also what is happening to these poor souls. I don't buy into the benevolent stories of ghosts appearing to their loved ones to bid farewell. What I usually do in my shows, yes. Pure fantasy, I'm with you. If we go back to ancient times, the figure of the ghost has always caused terror. Ghosts have been feared since the dawn of time. Why are they used in literature as a chilling element? What is the word itself? Why does the word itself have that terrifying connotation? They are our loved ones, right? It should be a cause for celebration and hope that they can visit us after death and that we can contact them. As with visions of angels or virgins, no one was scared of the apparitions at Lord's in 1858. Exactly. Cedric's appearance was of a different nature. It conveyed anger, pain, aggressiveness. It was the very embodiment of terror. Something happens to us when we pass to the other side. I want to know what it is. I can't bear the thought of my little brother who suffered in life, also suffering in death. He doesn't deserve it. No one deserved to end up like that. Most religions assure us that eternal peace awaits us after death. You do have a strange manner of speaking. Yes, I have been told
Yeah,
so.
what are you, French?
Rubbish. They're wrong. Do you want to hear my story? No? I mean, of course, go ahead. Nelson and I witnessed a similar apparition when we were children. It was in St. Mary's Church in Whitby. There were rumors of strange noises that were heard in the church some nights. Banging, grunting. You know, it's only the vicar and one of the parishioners. I mean, the parish priest denied it, but everyone knew he was banging the cleaner there. I mean, what was happening there? The village elder talked of a ghost of a former prior who roamed the church at night. We've always been passionate about these issues. And like good rascals we snuck into the church one night, hoping to see a ghost. Childhood fantasies, you know. We sat on the benches closest to the exit, just in case. We were there in the dark for over 3 hours with nothing happening. But suddenly we saw the benches near the altar start to move on their own. A dark silhouette materialized and began pushing the benches with violence while approaching us. We heard its voice, but we couldn't interpret what it was saying. Its tone denoted anger. That scared us more than its mere presence. I don't know how we managed to overcome the fear, but we managed to get out of there. That same night, we promised to dedicate our lives to studying this phenomena. Did you become a researcher? Oh yes, most of my life has been dedicated to research with Nelson, but we didn't succeed. Nelson had support as a forensic scientist and later as a professor at the university. He could afford something as basic as living. I needed money. Research into the field was guarantee of starving to death, but we weren't achieving great results either. So I put aside these investigations and became Beatrice Shaw, the great medium. Nelson didn't take it very well, although he never stopped informing me of all his progress. The last night we met at the Red Lion, he told me he'd found an ideal place to investigate. Number 3 Benwell Street. Yes, I have been there. I managed to contact an entity. Are you serious? Nelson was right. We have to go back there and conduct a thorough investigation. These idiots that want to shut down the department will have no choice but to eat their words. Oh, we're arriving. Hopefully we'll find Nelson sleeping soundly in the workshop, unaware of all that's happening. Professor? There seems to be no one here. My voice has gone funny. Let me try. Oh, Jesus. Nelson, you fool!
God damn.
Open this blasted door. Or... Ah. I was just drinking some water. Oh, thank you, Diddy.
That's good.
He's not here. We should search the laboratory. Maybe there is something that will give us a clue to his whereabouts. Good idea. I think the light switch is nearby. Are you going to make me look for it, or are you going to find it? Where? Ah, here it is. Let there be light. Let's turn this place upside down. And she just walks up to the bench and puts her hands on her hips like, yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
It looks
I'll
like
look here at the table.
It looks like a high-powered electric generator. Why would the professor need such wattage? The box is full of technical drawings. I'll take a closer look. Oh, it can't be. Beatrice, what have you found? Come and take a look at this. Is this what I think it is? The Box of Revelations. Nelson couldn't stop talking about it. High-tech machinery that can reveal the hidden. A real-time viewer of the beyond. A fantasy. We theorized a lot about this device, but we gave up on it when we assumed it was impossible to build with it with existing technology. Does this box require a human head? However, from what I can see, yes, it seems the professor found the key. If we connect, oh my god, of course, it could work. Take a closer look at this document. I read, designed by Professor Nelson and Professor Patrick Moore. Yes, the core part of this machine is based on my electromagnetic wave booster. Why? It has people's names on it. Thanks to it, I've been able to contact Thomas Highmore at Bentwell Street House. There are several names associated with parts of the machine. Let's take a look. Let's figure 1. One of the pieces would fit into a side spring. Eugene Wood. Does that name ring a bell? He's a renowned photographer specializing in post-mortem images. Mourning portraits. Photos of the deceased for their family's resemblance. I find it a distasteful practice. I hope they do not photograph me like that when I die. In fact, I have stated in my will I want to be cremated and emptied down some drain. I hope my last wish is fulfilled. Wow, down a drain, wow. I think this piece
rough.
Is a photographic plate. One of the functions of the Box of Revelations is to visually record the surroundings. That tube is meant to contain ectoplasm, correct? You're right. Since ectoplasm is the materialization of certain elements from the beyond, we have theorized if treated and enhanced, it could be a strong conduit for displaying invisible reality. But Florence Cook? She is even more fraudulent medium than you, if I may be so bold. Florence Cook could manifest an entity called Katie King through her body. And yes, it was proven to be a fraud. And the professor knew it. That's why I'm concerned with entrusting the collection of ectoplasm to Florence Cook. This here, it's a geometric figure. This base is intended for the machine's generator. From the Box of Revelations to be autonomous, we need a significant power. We have conducted several tests synthesizing and miniaturizing various generators. We were unsuccessful. It was one of the reasons we couldn't carry out a prototype. However, it seems Nelson found an alternative. There is no doubt about it. But I don't know what that figure could be. Professor Silas Bennett. Who are we talking about? Silas Bennett is a reputable yet eccentric archaeologist. He spends most of his time searching for artifacts out of time and place. This has led to a rather dubious reputation. Artifacts out of time and space. UPARTs, that's what we call them. It is an acronym for out-of-place artifact. Fascinating. This Box of Revelations is reality. It can be made. With those 3 missing pieces and relying on the professor's judgment. Yes. Do you know what this means, dear friend? Thanks to it, you'll be able to prove those skeptics on the board that you are right. What am I saying to those skeptics? To the whole world, come with me. And you'll be... That device that caught my attention, but I didn't know what it was until I saw the plan for the Box of Revelations. Yes, indeed. It appears to be a prototype of sorts. Let's see what you think of my proposal. I've noticed some missing adjustments and some elements that could be improved. I could take care of that while you get the missing pieces. Oh, but what of the professor? Should we suspend our search? We're at a dead end. We can waste our time wandering around London, or we can save your department at the university. We'll worry about Nelson later. Something tells me he will show up eventually. Well, what do you say? If the machine works, we can try it at Bedwell Street. So count on it. Excellent. Let's recap. We need an ectoplasm sample. Nelson pinned his hopes on Florence Cook. I have doubts about this matter. It is well known that Florence Cook was a fraud. It's also well known that Nelson was the most skeptical investigator in all of England. Trust him. Nelson must know something we don't. Alright, where can we find Florence Cook nowadays? She's still conducting spiritualist sessions. She has her cabinet on Larkhill Lane. Ding.
Ding ding.
I'll head there. Silas Bennett is the key to making the machine autonomous. An archaeologist, not an engineer. I wonder how he can help us. Oh, bang. Sausages. We'll have to ask him. Do you know where we can locate him? Apparently in a pan with some sausages. Yes, he has an office at the London Archaeological Society. It just went bang. Last but not least, we have Eugene Wood, a photographer. This machine can photographically record its surroundings. And for that compartment, it seems intended for a photographic plate. Yes, but not just any photographic plate. If it were, Wilson wouldn't have trouble finding one. I'll play Bennett a visit and we will find out. Very well, Professor Moore. Pay a visit to those people. Meanwhile, I'll work on the machine adjustments. Bring me the pieces as you require them. We have no time to waste. Let's get to it! I should let Beatrice work. She knows what she's doing, does she? Oh, a ladder.
Does she?
If I need a ladder, I know where to find one. Professor Ward's famous caustic archive. He used to have it in his office. Apparently he moved it here recently. I spent over a lot of time reading its files over and over. No, LK, you're not that far behind. What's that called? Oh, the lady who's at the desk, she's the seance lady. It turns out she was his best friend from a child, and the only reason why she went into seancing stuff was because she wasn't allowed to work at the university. The Case of the Sheet Ghost. Sir Clarence Hoffman, the once famous theatrical author, required my services as he claims several strange phenomena was happening in his house. The residence is near Piccadilly, and I will admit the street and number by the expressed desire of his wife. Hoffman's tale was that at midnight, several times already, a figure wandered through the corridors of the house. The story was corroborated by his servant, someone called Fritz Mayer. Mrs. Hoffman didn't want to talk about it, though. Her husband excused her, explaining that it was hard for her to give any details about the phenomena, as the mere mention of it affected her nerves. Half an hour before midnight, I asked the inhabitants of the house to stay away from the area of the apparition's activity, which is the living room. 5 minutes before the clock struck 12, I stood in the corner at the main corridor so I could have a wide view. At 12 o'clock, I could see a dancing shadow on the far side of the corridor. I drew closer, hiding in the shadows so that I could not draw the attention of the phenomena, until I realized it was a figure in a sheet with holes for the eyes. I pulled the sheet with outrage and with a bit of curiosity about which member of the household was using such a trite trick to waste my time. Mrs. Hoffman arrived in a rush when she heard me scolding the German servant, and told me with an embarrassment that made me sympathetic that her husband missed the time when he was a regular in the newspaper, a time which sadly no one even remembered. Seeing the case of apparitions featured prominently in the press each day, he plotted so that the newspapers would draw their attention to him once more. He asked the servant to disguise himself as a ghost, so that a well-respected metaphysical investigator, that is me, would confirm the story and give it that luster of authenticity. What Arthur Hoffman did not count on was the weariness yours truly bears on his back in the matters of fraud and deception. I promised that the theatrical author would appear again once in the newspapers, this time as the role of a fraudster. But the insistent plea of Mrs. Hoffman dissuaded me from taking this story, which she never agreed with to the press. I'm exhausted. Sometimes I wonder at all if it's worth it all. Case of Westminster Abbey. With great secrecy, I was led to Westminster Abbey by the request of Bishop Thomas Stevens. I was told that the great organ built by William Hall in 1848 played at night by itself without human intervention. The sacristan, Anthony Hoyle, suspected the culprit was a ghost of the old organist, with whom they did not end on such good terms, as he was laid off due to his alcoholism. These are the cases as the missing dudes, because we're in his workshop. The new organist, Paul Lathan, showed me what great work of art the instrument is, a bulk of tubes and pistons that extended to the ceiling. Given my ignorance of these matters, I asked him if it was possible that the air came through the tubes and made the instrument play. He said it would be possible, but not with enough strength to play as loudly as it did during the night. He added that what you could hear had no melody, but a string of distorted notes that would make one's skin bristle. The organist offered a small snack in the form of excellent wine and delicious Swiss cheese, then asked me to attend his rehearsals so that I could hear for himself the sound of the enormous instrument, and so he could brag about his skill with the keyboard, I imagine. When he was finished, he asked me how I liked the piece that he just finished. I do not know a lot about music, so the only thing I told him was that he had some chunks of cheese in his bushy beard. He left annoyed, and I do not blame him. I was aware that my social abilities leave me much to be desired. I miss Patrick. My colleague knows how to connect with this fellow. Why did you not get Patrick involved with this? In the early hours during my watch, I was sitting in one of the seats closest to the organ when I heard the cacophony emanating from the instrument. They were right. No one was at the keyboard. The acoustics of the place made the sounds resonate throughout the room, making anyone who heard it anxious to some degree. Thinking I would finally catch a ghost, I drew near to the organ, and I could see a tiny mouse running along the keys, eating bits of Swiss cheese that were laid on them. The organist received an ultimatum. Shit. Either he stopped eating cheese before rehearsing, or he shaved off his beard. He opted for the latter. Case of the Voices of the Beyond. It was a squeakster, yes. Brian Stewart, a renowned psychiatrist and follower of Jean Martin Charcot, is a busy man reluctant to waste time writing up his research findings. To streamline the process, he uses a phonograph to record his notes for his assistant to transcribe later. He sought my help because strange, distant voices mysteriously appeared on one of the cylinders. Stewart played the recording for me, and after a brief silence of seconds or two, I could hear them. They were nonsensical phrases, some whispered. Occasionally, a word in Latin would emerge. After a long silence, the voice of the psychiatrist would resume dictation for his assistant. While it's uncommon to indeterminate voices to manifest on a sound recording, this phenomenon is known as EVP, electronic voice phenomena. I suggested an experiment to Stewart, leaving the phonograph alone in the room to record ambient sounds in the hope of capturing those voices again. We tried this, but the device picked up nothing. I speculated that the phenomenon may only occur in the psychiatrist's presence, so we repeated the experiment with Stewart speaking directly into the phonograph while I observed from the corner of the room. The esteemed psychiatrist, to avoid wasting another cylinder, used the recording to dictate notes on a case he'd been working for weeks. He spoke continuously for several minutes until he abruptly stood up, paced the room, and whispered random phrases and paraphrased Latin lines from the book De Sacramentum oddly in Latin. I approached him and could see that he was in a semi-catatonic state. Another researcher might have concluded that the man was under possession of an entity from the beyond, but I'm a professional. I examined him and confirmed that he exhibited all the symptoms of schizophrenia. Wow, that's a big Z that you just put in the middle of schizophrenia. Capital Z. I feel sorry for him, but I regret even more having not heard a real EVP. Yeah, you're right. The phonograph is not electronic, so I don't know why they put EVP. I think there's a misunderstanding about what the phonograph is doing. Mrs. M is a humble flower seller from Covent Garden, struggling to support her family, including 3 children and a husband, unable to find work. Just a week ago, their greedy landlord raised their rent to an unaffordable amount. The family of 5 had to move to a small, dilapidated house on Cavell Street, previously occupied by an elderly couple who passed away a week before Mrs. M arrived. During their first night at the place, they heard 3 metallic knocks coming from the attic. Mrs. M investigated but couldn't find the source of the sounds. Frightened, they sought my services to explain this strange occurrence. That same night, I went to their home and waited downstairs for the knocks to happen again. As expected, 3 metallic knocks echoed from the attic floor. I went up there accompanied by a terrified Mr. M, but found nothing in there. However, 3 large boxes stacked in the corner caught my attention. When I shone my light behind them, I was shocked to see a sight that will haunt me forever. A man around 40 years old, emancipated, chained to the walls by his ankles, devoid of his tongue, eyes, and ears, surrounded by filth. Despite his condition, he somehow sensed my presence and struck the floor with a plate 3 times. Neighbors later identified the poor soul as the son of the elderly couple, unseen since he was 15. It seems he'd been living in the attic in such a deplorable state all those years. The reason for his horrific punishment by his own parents remain a mystery. But there's one thing I know for sure: the living are to be more feared than the dead. Yeah. Wait, so they moved out and left their son behind? That they had...
That's like scratches.
Yeah. Whoa. That was a strange read. The shelf is full of tools, but I don't see anything that would help me. Okay. Alright, see you later, Beatrice. Oh, hydration. I need to fill up my water bottle. I'm sure you're not letting yourself. A goon box of water. Alright, what do we got? We got Patrick Moore's house. Florence Cook, we'll head to Florence Cook. Florence Cook herself, for example. Oh, ring ring. She was stunning. She was studied by several researchers. Those who certified her as a fraud belonged to the London intellectual elite. Several of them affirmed with the Conservative Party. Believe me, Mr. Taylor, when I say that our leaders were not interested in us being aware of the truth. I'm not saying it is a conspiracy. Well, I am, but it is a conspiracy.
Good afternoon. You're part of the group, I assume?
Excuse me, may I?
The advertisement.
I beg your pardon?
I placed an advertisement in the British Association of Supernatural Studies newsletter, seeking people to join me in Miss Cook's session. Yes. Only Mr. Morton and Mr. Taylor responded to my call. Tell me, have you also come because of the advertisement? Yes or no?
Yes, of course.
I'm glad. I'm Joseph Brown.
Patrick Moore.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Moore. You don't have to worry about money. As I mentioned in the advertisement, it's all paid for.
I appreciate that.
I hope you don't think Katie King is a fraud as they have tried to make us believe.
Well, I suppose we will soon find out.
What are you, French? Yes, of course, that's the idea. Oh!
I'm not from anywhere. Gentlemen, Miss Cook informs me she's ready. Remember to remain silent throughout the session. It is the utmost importance that no matter what happens, and no matter what you see, you do not leave your seat.
Well, will we see a Katie King?
I cannot ensure that, but it seems that this evening the medium's spiritual energies are in full swing. So your wish will probably come true. Fascinating. If you would be kind enough to join me.
Are you nervous, Mr. Moore?
Oh yes, I am shaking all over.
I can offer you an opiate to calm your nerves. I've got the shit, you see. I usually carry some with me for, medicinal purposes, yes, but promise you won't tell anyone.
It won't be necessary. Shall we go in?
Yes, of course.
I suppose my niece has informed you of the guidelines to follow during this session. Know that communication with the spirit world is very delicate. Any unexpected event could result in the loss of the connection with the beyond. Therefore, allow me to remind you of what you must not forget while the medium is in a trance. The medium, which is me. You cannot rise from your seat once the session has begun. If Katie King were to manifest, do not speak to her. She cannot see or hear you. She will only communicate through me. She is quite sensitive to what happens in this world, so try not to make any sudden moves. She could get scared and disappeared. If you wish to convey a message to her, address it to me. Even while I'm in a trance, I will be able to hear you and transmit your words. Has everyone understood? Any questions or doubts before we begin?
Do we have to put our hands on the table during the session?
Do you have psychic powers, Mr. Brown?
Me? No, I don't have any.
Then let the medium be the one to place her hands on the table to channel psychic energies, alright?
Sorry.
The medium, who again is me.
Yes, of course.
Let's
you, of
begin.
course.
Katie King, daughter of John King. You who left the life to join the world of the dead. You who've been living in the shadows ever since. I summon you, O wandering spirit. Let us witness your presence in the world to which unfortunately you no longer belong.
I swear.
No squirting right now, gentlemen. Leave the darkness and join the living.
Oh, it's the fucking...
Florence? Is that you, Florence?
Oh, amazing.
I'm here, Katie King. The sound of my voice will guide you to me. Join us.
The researchers were right. The manifestation emanates the scent of flowers.
I feel life in this place. You're not alone. Oh, no, dear. I'm accompanied by people who've come to see you. Who are they? I cannot see them. Only feel them with my sexy body. Mr. Brown is with me on my right. Calm down, Katie. Opposite me is Mr. Morton and Mr. Taylor. To my right, Mr. Moore. Oh, so Mr. Moore's on my left. Oh my goodness. I've got my directions all muddled up. Ha 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 ha. Nice to meet you, gentlemen. Will you be paying cash or charge for me to take my clothes off? Katie says she's pleased to meet you. That's not what I said.
Yes, we can hear her.
Unbelievable. Katie King must be using her energies to communicate with you with this reality. Katie. Yes, Florence? My guests inform me that they can hear your voice. That is, wonderful. Can I convey a message to them? Give me £50 and I'll take the dress off. Of course, my dear. Oh, that wasn't the message? You're blessed to live in this world that, while not perfect, full of glued wonders. Now, if I lift my skirt up like this, you'll see my ankles. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Where I come from? Nothing. Everything's dark. It's a lonely place. That's why I'd like some, he's dead. Do not waste your lives on conflicts. Avoid problems. Add another 100 in and I'll sleep with you. I mean, live your lives as if each day was the last.
By Jove, she's gone from Cockney to bloody Aussie.
Ah, shit. Does anyone want to ask Katie King a question? Ghosts always say shit like this. Never, like, is any of you into feet or stuff like that?
Gentlemen, Katie King exists. The session has been a success.
We should celebrate!
I know an exquisite restaurant not too far from here. We can go get a succulent Chinese meal.
What do you think about going into the Regent's Smokers Club instead? G'day, mates. I'm Noah Blimey. There's been a storm. Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Taylor's option. Yes. You've heard Katie King. We must live life.
I've got £150 to be spending on her.
Let's get moving, gentlemen.
Yes, leave me behind, please. I do not have any money for the brothel. The session is over, Mr. Moore. Do you have £150 for sleeping with Katie Cook? You were Katie King, weren't you? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Governor. You just change clothes and appear from the shadows. My good sir, I don't know what you're aiming at, but I beg you to leave. Unless it's her that's getting, taken over by Katie King. Forgive me, but my intention was not to cause trouble. My name is Patrick Moore. I'm a university professor. I'm involved in metaphysical research along with my colleague Nelson Ward. Oh no, not again. I hope to never hear that name again in my life. I'm confused. Did you have trouble with my colleague? I will tell you the same thing I told Professor Ward. You will not get any ectoplasm samples at the expense of my aunt's life. Ooh. So
oh my God.
You can fuck off, mate. Enough, Charlotte. But Aunt Florence, I said enough. I made a decision. He can have my excretions. I mean, if you'll be so kind to step aside, I need to speak to this gentleman. So, you work with Professor Ward. That is correct. And where is he? I have no idea where he might be. Has he disappeared? Yes, something like that. I have taken over his research. If it is all right with her, let's get this conversation in order. My colleague left a note saying you could provide an ectoplasm sample. That is correct. I do not mean to be rude, but I believe he made a mistake in thinking you would be the right person for the job. Your reputation is questionable, Miss Cook. And what I saw there confirms that. Forget what you've seen. Anyone except the group you came in would know it's a crude setup. But Professor Ward has a memory. It is something that is lacking in all those who hear the name Florence Cook for the first time. What do you mean? I've not always been a fraud, Mr. Moore. When I was a teenager, I contacted an entity who called himself Sergeant Hughes. I managed to materialize ectoplasm through my body, and this entity used it to communicate with me. I thought it was a good way to make a living, and it was for the first few weeks, but with each session, Sergeant Hughes gained more strength to the point of possessing my body. He became more and more violent. I banged several women. His intention was to invade this reality, a reality to which he did not belong. I managed to sever the link, but his last words were a threat, a death threat. It was then I created Katie King. A contrivance, of course, but safer without risking my life. People didn't care. They were still amazed by the sessions. Since then, there has been several Katie Kings. I was the first, but logically I had to stay young. The latest Katie King, as you've seen, is my niece Charlotte. Do you understand now, Mr. Moore? My aunt can't do what you're asking. She could die if she invoked Sergeant Hughes. I am sorry I am unaware of all this. It is not my intention to put you in danger. It doesn't matter now. I'm sick, Mr. Moore. Very sick. I have been given up on. Doctors have diagnosed I have no more than 2 months left to live. I want to do
I'll be
it.
back.
I don't want to live this life without the world knowing I was never a fraud. So you're in luck. You will have your ectoplasm sample. I believe your niece is right. Invoking that entity could... It is my will! And you must respect it! I want that sample more than anything in this world, but I'm most concerned about your safety. And I would like to have a clear conscience. You will. As I said, this is what I want. Mind you, I'm not going to summon the bastard without the presence of William Crooks. Crooks? The scientist who discovered the element thallium? Amongst other things, yes. When my name and Katie's Kings became famous, several researchers wanted to verify the authenticity of the phenomena. One of them was a promising scientist and a member of the Royal Society. He validated the phenomena. He knew it was all a hoax, but he didn't want to discredit me in society's eyes. He was criticized and almost discredited as a scientist. I'd like to have him at this session. I have a lot to say to him. He is an important person in my life, although I doubt he'll accept the invitation if my niece and I reach out to him. Tell me, Mr. Moore, can you get Mr. Crooks to come? Know that I won't lift a finger without his attendance. Yes, I will try. He resides in Berkeley Square. Ask any coachman nearby and they'll tell you where to find him. Bring Mr. Crooks here and we can begin the session. In the meantime, I'll begin the preparations. Did you know your selfishness would make my aunt die? No, forget it. I'm outnumbered. I cannot fight against your greed and my aunt's stubbornness. My God's will be done. Still charge you £150 for something, ma'am. Why is it so important for you to obtain an ectoplasm sample? We are creating a machine with which one can see the beyond. At the cost of a life. Is it worth it? Let the dead rest. Oh, let the dead rest and let the living live. Cool. Goodbye, madame. Yeah, let's go check out William Crooks then. Oh. Oh, I will inform Mr. Crooks. What did you say your name was? Moore. Patrick Moore. Yeah, that painting, it looked like a big fat man, but I think it's just a scholar with like a big collar. A gentleman named Patrick Moore wishes to see you. He will attend you right away. Thank you. My tits look massive from the side. Yes, what do you want? My name is Patrick Moore. I'm a university professor. What field? Medicine. Nice to meet you. Although I come to you as a metaphysic researcher. An interesting pseudoscience. Certainly interesting, but unproductive, if I may express my opinion. Mr. Moore, I'm aware that I am known for having been involved in these matters in former times, but all that belongs to the past. I don't know how I could help you. I do not wish to bore you with details, so I will be brief. I'm completing a machine that will be a breakthrough in the field of metaphysics. Metapsychics, I mean. You have my attention, continue. But I need several elements to carry it out. One of them is a sample from ectoplasm that the medium Florence Cook could provide me. Florence? Did you say Florence Cook? Yes. I will save you the time, Mr. Moore. Florence Cook is a fraud. I also doubt her mediumistic abilities, although I have my reasons to give her the benefit of the doubt. This is your choice. Don't say nobody warned you. She asked me to beg for you to attend the session. She won't do it if you're not present. No. I know that... I'm not getting involved with this, sir. I've been nominated for the Nobel Prize several times and I was recently knighted. The last thing I need to do is be associated with these matters again. I'm sorry I can't help you. Aren't you curious to find out if Florence Cook isn't a fraud after all? I thoroughly investigated Florence Cook, Mr. Moore. And believe me, the woman has no extraordinary powers, but a banging body. However, your conclusion about her was quite the opposite. It's very complicated, you wouldn't understand. I didn't want to be too harsh on her because it was, let's just say it was a dishonest act that jeopardized my credibility as a scientist. You banged her, didn't you? Do it in the name of science, Mr. Crooks. Metapsychics is not a science. Chemistry and physics, those are sciences. I could bring you the blueprints of the machine I'm building. Yes, you've already told me about it. It runs on ectoplasm. Yes, but not exactly. Spare me the details, Mr. Moore. Remember, you're talking to a scientist. It won't take too much of your time. Oh, you've convinced me then. I mean, I've already given you my refusal, Mr. Moore. Please don't insist. You said you were interested in the world of metapsychics. I also told you it was completely unproductive. May I give you some advice? Don't waste your time investigating these matters. You're very young. Do you want to end up on like those nutcases from the Bass, believing they've summoned... Who's on this month? Cleopatra? St. John the Baptist? Ludwig van Beethoven? Oh yes, of course, Beethoven. I have had contact with an entity. You're running out of arguments to try and convince me, Mr. Moore. As I've already told you, I cannot help you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to review the speech I'll be giving at the headquarters of the British Confederation of Scientific Societies. I only have a short time before the coach room picks me up. Good luck to you, Mr. Moore. Florence Cook is dying. What's wrong with her? She didn't specify which illness it is, but her life expectancy is months, weeks. She wants to see you before she dies. Is this emotional racketeering? Is this your final desperate argument to try and convince me? Oh no, I've already exhausted all resources trying unsuccessfully to convince you a moment ago. I'm just conveying Mrs. Cook's words to you. I'll be frank with you, Mr. Moore. My mind is split in two halves. It's almost like I have a left brain and a right brain. One is controlled by reason, and to it I owe becoming a respected scientist. Spirituality consumes the other half. That's why I became interested in the afterlife. I wanted answers, and that led me to investigate Florence Cook's case. At the time, she was considered the most authentic medium in London. The investigation lasted longer than necessary because we realized we enjoyed each other's company. We fell in love, Mr. Moore. But I concluded Florence's powers were nothing but a hoax. It was obvious that Katie King was her, although no one else realized it. But even so, I was so in love with Florence that I wanted to cover for her, admitted that everything was real. Those claims shook my credibility. Even my career was at risk. Florence didn't want everything to end like that, so in an act of what I now see as bravery, she ended our relationship. She broke my heart. I haven't seen her since then. And if what you say about her illness is true... It is, believe me. In that case, my heart would also break if I were to see her in that state. I want to hold on to the memory I have of Florence. Full of light, full of light. Do you understand me? Betsy, please respect my decision. And please apologize to Florence for me. I've taken a liking to you, Mr. Moore. Her niece is hot, though. You'll be welcome in this house anytime, even if I'm absent. Feel free to consult my library whenever you want. Do you know Deschain? Of course. I have several first editions on the second shelf. You'll find them interesting. Good afternoon, Mr. Moore. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Excellent. I'm going to steal your first editions. This library is quite a treasure. It contains volumes that would be the dream of any antiquarian. Excuse me. Yes. Yes. Couldn't you convince Mr. Crooks? I wouldn't be meddling in Crooks' affairs. It would exceed my duties. I need Mr. Crooks to accompany me to that session. I understand, but I'm sorry I can't help you. There's nothing you could do for me, right? I'm just a simple maid, sir. Where are they expecting Mr. Crooks? He's to give a speech at the British Confederation of Scientific Societies. Their coachman should be arriving soon. I apologize for interrupting. Carry on with your work. Thanking you, sir. Anything? The clock. I no longer need to watch the clock for the university board to decide whether or not to close the metaphysic research. Beatrice is right. If we manage to make the box of revelations work, we will prove to everyone that the existence of the spectral world. There is a sealed envelope inside that tray. It's for the coachman. It contains a card with the address where Mr. Crooks will give his speech. Don't lay your hand on it, if you please. Ooh. We're gonna fuck with that for sure. Eventually. I don't think we can do it yet. We don't have a card to slip in there. Sir, Mr. Crooks is reviewing his speech. I don't think he wants to be disturbed. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, let's go see Eugene Wood. Oh. I understand the situation, but now's not the right time to go see Paddy. Oh, listen here, lad. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Hey, yes, I apologise. Are you saying you want to keep Paddy waiting? No, I'm not saying that. But I understand I'm in the middle of a photo shoot. The camera's all loaded, I just need to touch up the deceased. Touch on the deceased? Disgusting. No, I won't be able to pay Paddy if I don't do this job. The Perkins sisters pay well, you know? Mate, you gotta photograph loads of dead bodies to pay off what you owe Paddy. This place is getting on my nerves, Brian. Let's sod off. Yeah, me mate's corpse snapper. So shift it. Who are you? Oi, this geezer looks familiar. I don't know what's going on in here, but it seems like you two are in charge. Would you be so kind as to grant me a few minutes with Mr. Wood? Maybe he's a customer. Let me have a word with him. Yeah, it's Snapper. Yeah, sorry. Request denied. And now, move out of the way. Unless you want us to move you. Good lad. Off you go. Just a moment, please. And what the hell's going on? Miss Constance, Miss Adelia? Please stay. It's all a misunderstanding that I'll sort out shortly. Do you want us to call the Bobbies, Mr. Wood? Constance, no. Listen up, ladies. If you're planning on calling the Bobbies, let me know. Because if you do, I'll cut your tongues out so you can't. Oh. Oh. The Bobby's got it. Hey, you. We've wasted enough time. Let's scarper. You heard him. Tongue or Bobbies, which will be? Oh, right. Are you both alright? No, but at least we've still got our tongues. I'm going to go touch your deceased. Oh. He has empty eye sockets. And we don't want to remember our brother in such a state. The photographer said he would fix it. He would fix the eyes. Let's see what we've got here. Nothing interested. Maybe the drawers. Only photo albums. Other drawer. More albums of photographs. It shows an infant no more than a year old who appears to be asleep. Alas, he was not. The camera sounds prepared, loaded for the photograph. Pray tell, you do not intend to photograph poor Bertram in his current state, do you? What state? His eyes are absent. You cannot immortalize him thus. Briefcase, maybe. The briefcase is brimming with cosmetics, more fitting for a mortician than a conventional photographer. Ew, hydration.
I'm back in time for the hydration.
Hydration.
What have I missed?
Okay, so, we went and saw Mr. Crooks. He said he fell in love with her. That's the reason why he covered for her, but she did the brave thing and broke up with him. And we told him that she was dying, and he was like, "Oh, I want to remember her as she was, not as a dying woman." So he's refused to come. We've come over to the photographer's place. Those gangsters were here, and they've taken him away. Turns out he owns a lot of money to Patty, and I guess we're potentially going to be taking this photograph, but this guy's missing his eyes.
Oh my god.
And he's he's dead. And his sisters are like, "Oh, you can't take a photograph with him without eyes." So I'm a bit stumped because I've had a look around and I've got nothing that I can use.
So we need fake eyes.
We need
Glass
fake
eyes.
I got a crystal flask, but I don't think that's going to help. And I don't think I can take this eye with us. Just pop it out and I'm deeply sorry for your loss. Thank you very much, sir. Where did they take the photographer? Seen that bold act of thievery, did you? What is the world coming to? King George should kick all these Irish out of our land. Oh, boy. I will Paddy's man,
dear.
sir. It seems Mr. Wood has done business with the wrong person. Paddy? Who's Paddy? Where can I find them? How would we know, eh? Suggesting we mix with that lot, are you? I was just asking. Paddy usually operates in St. Giles. Word is he runs a business from his tavern there. How do you even know that? Read it in the papers. Stick to society's pages, sister. You read too much. Anyway, why are you so interested in those people? They're not our kind. They live among us, sister. The Irish, Italians, Poles, Oh, enough! What are you trying to tell me? Now we have to worry about them like we do those poor street children? We worry about the street children? Who do you think the proceeds from the charity market we organise every Christmas goes to? That's not good enough, Constance. Excuse my sister Adelia, sir. Reading those progressive newspapers seem to have altered her conscience. I'm only saying that— Quiet, Adelia! This gentleman is not interested in your utopian fantasies. What happened to your brother's eyes? He gouged them out. He used to have violent outbursts. Thought he saw—
Jesus Christ.
things no man should. What? Paranoid delusion, form of dementia. That's what the doctors said. The dementia was from syphilis. Shameless! I remind you we're keeping that a secret. Do you want people to believe Bertram used to frequent brothels? Wasn't that the case? Of course that's how it was. But our people do not do such things. And if they do, people do not need to know about it. Is that clear to you, Adelia? I see you're carrying a bouquet of flowers, Miss Perkins. Violets, my brother's favorite. He wished that he was photographed with them. Do you want me to place the violets in your brother's hands? Not yet. I'll do it when he's about to be photographed. I can put them in water if you like. They may be spoilt. Don't insist, sir. I'll place them in Bertram's hands when he's about to be photographed. What would you do if the photographer does not show up? The Undertaker himself will come and fetch Bertram in a couple of hours. Hope Mr. Wood's back by then. I would not count on it, sister. You're too pessimistic, Adelia. What do you think? She was quite a pessimist, isn't she? I hope this whole matter will get sorted out. Oh, it's Randy time. Alright, so that's the current dead end there.
Sure, it'll become apparent. Well, where else do I need to go?
So we've got St. Giles, which I believe is where Paddy's
Oh,
operating at.
is there anything at the laboratory that can help us with the eyes? Maybe there's a shelf of stuff.
Yeah, let's have a quick look.
Anything on that shelf there?
No.
Okay. Never
Anything
mind.
yet? No.
What is she doing? She's been here for hours. Nothing's changed.
She's fiddling with the knobs. Yeah, let's check out St. Giles. Oh! Dogger!
Can I pet that dog?
No. No, I know exactly where I'm going. Funny. I thought I would have heard your voice. No, okay.
Wait, stop. Where do you think you're going?
To have a pint.
Only strong drinks served here, mate. You gotta be Aussie to come in here. You don't look like you can handle a glass of milk. So what brings you here?
To warm up, it's freezing out here, and I'm dressed like little Lord Fauntleroy.
Clap or stomp your feet, that'll warm you up. Got it?
It is a tavern, isn't it? Can't I come in?
Baked potato.
Baked potato?
I repeat, what do you want to come in for?
That's none of your business.
Oh yes, believe me, it is, mate. I'm asking you, where do you think you're going?
I need to see Paddy.
And does Paddy want to see you?
I don't think he will wait for me, but I must speak to him urgently.
You don't seem to be the kind of person who needs Paddy's help.
Actually, it is Eugene Wood who needs help.
Ah, yes, the photographer. He's bloody dead.
What?
Or he should be by now. That bloke has let Paddy down, you know. And the boss, well, he doesn't take kindly that kind of betrayal.
Let me talk to him, please. I need him alive.
Are you a copper?
Who? Me? No.
Bress? We wouldn't go
Yeah.
to cops, would you, mate?
I'm just a simple university professor.
Ha! A professor. This'll be fun. Go on. Tell Cillian you can see Paddy.
Thank you very much.
A professor. From a university.
Oh my.
All that music was intense.
Hey, you, come closer. How'd you get in here? The guy at the door gave me permission. Declan's been letting a lot of riffraff in lately. Tell him I need to see Paddy urgently and tell Syrian, that's not Cillian, to allow me to see him. Kieran? Who the hell's Kieran? Don't you mean Cillian? Oh yeah, Cillian, sorry. All of them names sound the bloody same, you do, you bloody English. Cillian's the guy at the door. Oh yes, I see. One moment. Is Larry Foley sending you? Who? Foley, the Catholic. I do not know who that is. Taylor Brothers? Not acquainted with them. The Bowery Boys? I do not know if they're any of the people you have mentioned, sir. You don't know me? Paddy's many enemies, so I hope you don't try anything you'll regret. Is that clear? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not here to stir up trouble. That's the way I like it. There's Cillian for you. Remember, if you try anything foolish, I won't be working out if you're alive, I suppose. Cillian, right? What do you want?
Go on, mate, what do you want?
I need to see Paddy. The chap at the door said to talk to you.
I have a door bloke, eh? Hold on a minute.
What are you looking at? Looking at me?
Come with me, mate.
So put pushable.
Behave yourself, Percival. Got a visitor. Cillian, here by my side. And ye, come closer.
I know this lad, Paddy. He was in the photographer's studio. I reckon he was also poking around the Red Lion.
Well, well. Seems you know us, but we don't know ye.
Are you French?
Could ye do us a favor of introducing yourself, sir?
I am. My name is Patrick Moore. I am a university professor.
Oh, Professor. He here to give us private lessons, Mr. Moore.
Why is everything so dark here?
Well, because there's no windows. Does it intimidate you, Mr. Moore?
I felt intimidated from the moment I walked through that door. The darkness. That chained dog that looks like he has not eaten in weeks. Not to mention the machete on the table.
Look out!
Everything in this room intimidates me.
I have what they call a touch of photophobia, hence the darkness. As for Percival, he's just overly enthusiastic.
He ate this morning.
Regarding the machete, indeed, it is there to intimidate, but it's also my letter opener.
I am not here to give private lessons.
Relax, Mr. Moore. 'Twas but a jest.
I am not here to cause trouble.
From what Liam says, seems so.
Your man commented that he had seen me at the Red Lion and at Eugene Wood's studio. Believe me when I tell you that the places I have been and what has brought me here to talk to you has been purely by chance.
I believe you, Mr. Moore. You don't fit the bill of my enemy. And if you were, I fear you wouldn't leave here alive. Eh, lads? Get to the point, Mr. Moore. What is it you'd be wanting from me now?
I would like to be able to talk to Eugene Wood. If that is alright with you, of course.
Ah, I reckon there's a bit of a problem then. By now, he should be pushing up daisies. Or maybe he's still kicking. Who knows for sure? You know what, Mr. Moore? Mr. Wood came to me because his business was going downhill. And I ain't surprised one bit. Who in their right mind wants a photograph of a dead loved one?
Well, they were the best photographs you could get at that time because they stayed still.
Can you picture it, Mr. Moore? Take a gander at my photo album, Miss Parker. Here's me Uncle James in his officer's uniform, and here's me niece Violet. Ah, and here's a snap of me 4-year-old daughter's corpse. Repulsive. So I lent him a tidy sum to save his business. I respect a business vision, no matter how grim even. One of my mottos is, if you want to make it in life, find something to sell and sell it. And by the time went by and he couldn't settle his debt. I gave him several chances before today. It ain't personal, but I gotta keep a business running. I'll be honest with you, Mr. Moore. Among me ventures are smuggling, prostitution, and extortion. I know this info would be gold for the Scotland Yard as a confession. But we know Mr. Moore here won't spill a word.
He doesn't spill his drinks.
Ain't that right, Liam?
It wouldn't be in his best interest.
In other ventures, I tend to turn a blind eye. A whore forgets to pay me. Couple of smacks and it's all sorted. Some poor sod resisting extortion. Well, a little scare and that's settled. But borrowing money from me pocket, not paying it back? Well, Mr. Moore, that's a sin. And it's paid for with death. Like I said, it ain't personal. I got nothing against Eugene Wood. Nice bloke. He's a fine photographer. I'd even ask him to snap photos at my daughter's wedding. I would. I really would. But I gotta send these kinds of messages to those who want to take me for a ride, you know. Nobody takes me for a ride. Got it?
You've made that quite clear.
I'm curious. What's your interest in that corpse photographer?
I am interested in one of his photographic plates.
Do you fancy photography, Mr. Moore?
It is part of my job. But my interest in that plate is of a sexual nature. Scientific nature. Other S word.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Quite frankly, I couldn't give a shit. But I think you wouldn't get anything out of that photographer.
Is there nothing I can do? Is there still time for me to repay his debts?
That came straight from the heart, eh? It was a desperate move.
In fact, yes. Yes. However, I do not have the funds at the moment. But I would be willing to get the money.
Thought you were a man of means. They don't pay me much. They don't pay you much at the university, do they? You should do business with me. It'd be more lucrative.
I prefer to stay on the right side of the law. The men of principles, Paddy. We hate those.
It's £1,000, Mr. Moore. Interest included. That's the amount Mr. Wood owes me.
£1,000? I still believe I can raise that much. I must do it. This is a life we are talking about.
Who's taking care of Mr. Wood? Brian, the limp one.
Sorry.
May God have mercy on that poor bastard. Means he's been taken to...
The farm, I.
Oh, that place is far away.
Ideal place for screams not to be heard.
Brian likes to take his time, doesn't he?
Indeed. Before getting down to business, he likes to fill his belly and have a nap with the intended killer. Get it? Kill.
I reckon, Mr. Moore, it might be a lucky day. Zillion, Mr. Moore here is going to be happy to be gathering £1,000 in a nice envelope. Tell me, who's at the door? Declan. Go tell Declan to get one of his lads to run like the devil to the farm and tell Brian not to do anything until further notice.
Except eat and drink.
Yes. Yes. With any luck, Brian won't have started his job. What do I probably know about? That photographic plate must be very valuable to you, Mr. Moore, to get mixed up in all this.
It is a crucial part of a technology project I am working on. Still, damn it, I'd do anything to save a life.
Oh, well, dear, my dearest. Oh, that's honorable, Mr. Moore. But take a look around you. Life in this city is worth nothing.
£1,000 in Mr. Wood's case.
Touché. Somebody sort on my money off my... Right, Mr. Moore. I reckon this situation's nothing but an act of faith. You ain't sure if Mr. Wood's still breathing. And I ain't sure if he can come up with all that money. I hope you understand.
I do.
Alright. If there ain't nothing more to add, get the fuck out. Mr. Cillian, see Mr. Moore out, will you? He's got a job to do. Yeah, the boss man. You fucking off, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, Bill's in the envelope, right? Don't be daft enough to go flying away around the bloody streets. Get yourself robbed. It's dangerous out there, mate.
What in the blazes have you done? Let me see if I got this right. Paddy gives you £300 to bet on one round Jack, the champion, the unbeatable, the one they call one round because he knocks his opponents out in the first round, and you bet on Walter Black. Boy!
That's perfect.
Oh, for the love of God. What, are you 5 years old? Remember when I told you your pride would land you in hot water? Oh, the day's come. Only thing I can do for you is beat yourself up till you disfigure your face. If Paddy catches you, tell him your slow cousin from Belfast. Alright, because when Paddy finds out, he'll move heaven and earth to find you. I don't want to know, you fool.
Dream like Hazewood.
Best be off with you, Michael. I am idiot. Inside is a paper dropped by one of Paddy's men. It is a betting slip for a boxing match. 1 round Jack versus Walter Black. The bet is in favor of the latter. Do you know where the 1 round Jack versus Walter Black fight is taking place? Huh? If you know where the 1 round Jack versus Walter Black fight is taking place. Why? You gonna place a bet? I don't know. I've never bet on any game. For God's sakes. The fight's happening down by the docks. There's a warehouse near the old Whopperton factory they've fixed up for boxing matches. Oakley dokley.
Time to fix a fight.
Where is the fight? Here's the fight. There
he is.
Yep. Excuse
Similar
me.
voice. 1 round. He's in there. Moira, did you bring the lucky charm?
Lucky charm? What lucky charm?
Ah!
I do not come here to pester the cigars.
You gummy, see the gym, and he's leave for left hook, eh?
Maybe. I think we will save here because
You're really wet.
I'm
I
apparently.
see you like storms too.
Yeah, you could say that.
You could say that.
We'll save here up here, and you hopefully still free for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hopefully we can finish this before you start work, or I start work.
I'm starting on Thursday.
Yes. So we have 2 days to finish this game. But yes.
We can do it, I believe.
I believe. Let us see if there is anyone online that we can raid. The Twitch. The following. We'll go to Cat Bab made that. I believe she is playing Squirrel with a gun.
Love that.
Raid Cat Bat made that. Hopefully both of you starting work happens soon and as often as needed. Well, Dave is definitely starting this week. I am unknown of when I'm starting. All I know is that someone has put in a soft offer for me, and I'm just waiting for the actual
Fingers crossed.
firm offer to come through. Firm it up, make it supple, and bountiful, and grabbable.
Bountiful.
Bountiful.
Bountiful is a great adjective.
Yeah, my bountiful work. But yeah, with that, we will see you tomorrow for more English haunting. Bye, dear. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.